Tonight, from Toronto, Canada, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Toronto Mounties taking on the Portland Snowhawks.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Portland Snowhawks and the Toronto Mounties. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Toronto Ball Club as they enter play here. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was... Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting on a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
Number 27, Kareem.
The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
2nd and 4.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, Lewis. In trouble, and he's taken down. Trey Flowers. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Lewis. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Call that a gain of 11.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the gun, Lewis. That one is caught by Hunt. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
3rd down.
Now Lewis throwing on 3rd and long. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Oh, what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
2-yard line.
So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
So this is what we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball, run it inside, everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you've really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4.
At his own 4-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
On 2nd down, Dillon. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
A.J. Dillon, the ball carrier. Nick Bosa on the
big conversion. They were backed up deep to start the drive, able to pick up the first.
So the goal is at least a 1st down here, right? Pick up a 1st down, give yourself some breathing room, and if you have to punt after that, maybe you've helped with field position and you've helped out your defense.
And avoided a 3 and out on their opening drive. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now a run with Dillon. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15.
Dillon, the ball carrier.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 13 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
They bring their punter out there now, standing just about on his own goal line. Fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
On 2nd down, it's Hunt. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Kareem Hunt, the ball carrier. He was taken down at the 50-yard line. It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. On the move to his left.
watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He's brought down at the 37-yard line. 1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Now Lewis. He'll get this one underneath to Hunt. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. No score after 1 on EA Sports.
No score. Cairo Santos on for the field goal. A 49-yard attempt.
And it is good. Well, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And it's 3-0 here in the second quarter. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
It's a gain of 6. And it's 3rd down.
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
And on now is the punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Kenneth Murray, the linebacker, there to make the play defensively.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard.
Here's Lewis to throw on 2nd down. And whips that one incomplete there. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing is Lewis. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And they get 14 yards there at a 1st down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And the running lane's non-existent in this 1st half as they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Lewis looking to throw on 2nd down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. And with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessul.
It's 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. Here's Tommy Townsend now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Portland's offense now about set to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
2nd and 5. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
It's 3rd down.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And right side, Henry's got it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A gain of 8 and a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Dillon. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
To number 80.
Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 30-yard line.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete.
6
yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
A gain of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
A gain of 4 yards. It's now 4th down.
So they bring out their punter. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
14-yard line.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lewis. And he completes it to Hunt. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as he'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Lewis now on 1st down. This is Chenault on the receiving end. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Lewis. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete.
Lewis is
5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. On third down, here's Hunt. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
46-yard line.
So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, not much happening on the scoreboard, just a lone field goal in that first half. For the call of the second half, maybe we can get a touchdown, fellas. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. Portland's offense now about set to take over. And maybe time for this offense to really hit the reset button. They were shut out in the first half, but still, they're right in this game.
They certainly are. What I like about it is that you actually continue to play. You know, you just find a way to make a few plays yourself, and you noted it. Right there on the border in this game, they're not that far off. Just got to find a play or two, and they could be very happy at that point.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
That was good, tough running right up the middle, and if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. And they get 17 more on that one, and another 1st down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this completes to Henry over the middle. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. Now back to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11.
Taken down at
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
They'll try and pound it in with Dillon. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. The football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
So crisis averted, but now facing 3rd and goal.
Delayed game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. How crucial will those 5 yards be? We'll see as they come up again here, 3rd and goal. And this is going to be incomplete.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And his kick here is good. And that will tie us at 3-3.
3-3.
So they come away from this opening drive in the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you get most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. From the gun, Lewis. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The quarterback sacked by Josh Uche.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Operating from the gun, Lewis. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll get it out to midfield. Yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And they'll send out their punter now. They'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Portland's offense now about set to take over. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
Almost intercepted it. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Trying to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
They pick up 11 in addition to moving the chains. A couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Now it's Dillon. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Back to throw here. His throw incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
That was just a good example of taking what the defense gave him. No one open downfield, knew where his safety valve was, swung it out to him. He gets upfield and picks up the first down. Well done all the way around.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And it's complete. Henry. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. This will be caught at about the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 10 more for him on that one. He's been a busy man. It's a first down. Back to throw again. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Brings up second and goal at the 1-yard line.
They'll look to run with Dillon. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on second down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Dillon, and he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A.J. Dillon, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and his guys have taken the lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Point after try forthcoming. And it is up.
The kick is good.
And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now.
10. Mounties 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From the 6. A good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Toronto's offense ready to take over. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Lewis. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
To throw is Lewis. Back to the air on 2nd down. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
3rd down and 10.
Now Lewis to throw on 3rd down. Sliding out of the pocket. He can run for it, and he will. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs, because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th on their own side of the field. Close to the 50, but their own side of the field. They only needed a couple of inches, and they were able to get it done.
And it doesn't matter whether you're a zone blocking team, a man blocking team, gap blocking, whatever you want to call it. When it's in this situation, it's really man-on-man, isn't it? Who's going to win the battle? And right there, we saw it. At the point of attack, find enough yardage to pick up a 1st down. Give them credit for that one.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Austin Hooper, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down.
Kenneth Murray on the coverage.
To throw again, Lewis. And this is incomplete. The offense on third down tonight, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. It's big Trey Flowers getting in there that time for the sack.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Operating from the gun, Lewis. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
He was defended by Jalen Ramsey.
Here's Lewis. Throwing on 3rd and long. He may try and run for this. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Flores learned under the master. He's going to go on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
A pickup of 2 brings up 2nd and goal.
They'll keep it on the ground. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Second effort there. He was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. 2-yard touchdown run. As the kick's away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
Portland's offense now about set to take over. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. And they'll run the option to start the drive. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Again, it's Dillon. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. As he throws and the ball is out. It's a live football. And the defense will get their hands on it. Go the other way. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right? So if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
They'll run on first down. Hunt. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
He's brought down at the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
They run again with Hunt. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now Hunt. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead.
13. Snowhawks 10.
Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
The situation for them offensively as follows. Down on the scoreboard, 1:14 to go. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. DeForest Buckner in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete. So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it.
Shaquille Griffin there defensively.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Toronto's offense ready to take over. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. And they'll indeed take a knee. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And this one won't be remembered for many offensive fireworks, but they did enough to get the job done.
And that's why it's a team game, because sometimes you have to lean on one part of your team. And they leaned on their defense. In fact, they probably went over there and asked for some help. Like, guys, we just don't have it in this one. Can you hook us up? And they did in a big way. Said, no problem. Put it on our shoulders. We'll carry you home. And they did exactly that.
So for the home team here, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Atlanta Falcons next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.